guys, it's Sam, and this is my March wrap-up. I feel like I barely had any opportunity to read this month because of how busy I was, but I managed to still get 5 books read, some of that due to audiobooks, thank goodness. But one of these books I was reading for like 3 weeks, even though I was enjoying it because I just had no time. And this month of April is going to be even worse than that. So, with that note of positivity, let's get going. The first book that I picked up was Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shauna McGuire. This is one of the novellas in her novella series of The Wayward Children, so it's about kids that go into different portal fantasy worlds and then come back, and this is the third one in the series. I've already done a full review for this, so I will link that on the screen, but I love these books. I love these worlds. I love these characters. I just think they're so fun. I think each one just builds on the other one. I just want to go into all of the different worlds and follow all of these characters, and I just love and adore them. So I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. Then I listened to A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab on audiobook, and this is one that I was only listening to because of the BookTube SFF Awards nomination for this year. If you haven't seen our shortlist, I will link that on the screen, but this is one of our adult fantasy nominations, and I have historically hated this whole series. I just want to preface this. Like, I have not had a fun time with this series. I continually find it disappointing, and I went into this book with super, super low expectations. And I ended up really enjoying it. I don't know what happened. My opinions on the first 2 books are not wrong. Like, I still stand by those. I did not enjoy the series, and I would not have read the series had it not been for the nomination. And I really liked this. So I feel like the first 2 books are just set up for this book, which is why I didn't like those, because it was just like, nothing's happening and these characters are insufferable. But in this book, I don't know if it's because I went in with my expectations so low, but I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the plot a lot. Stuff happened, lots of stuff happened. It was really great. I enjoyed the world because we had a lot of setup of the world in the first couple of books, and then we got to see a lot more of it in this one. And I really enjoyed most of the characters. I still don't love Lila and Kel as main characters. They're not my favorites. Lila is still very insufferable, but at moments in this book I was like, I'm okay with you. I'm just like, you know what, Lila? You're stupid, but I'm gonna root for you, you know? And that was something that I would have never imagined. I just felt like their character arcs in this series were really good. All of the characters, their character arcs. These characters are just really complex, and in this book, more relatable, and you feel such empathy for them. Like, by the time you've gotten to this book, you feel more for them, at least I did. So again, even though I didn't really like the main characters in the first 2 books, I liked them more in here. And then I love the side characters, and I've always loved the side characters, so that didn't change, but I love them even more. And this just felt like a fully fleshed out arc, and I ended up really enjoying it. It is one of my favorite finales that I have read ever. Definitely one of my favorite finales of the year. Do I feel like I can recommend this series to people, though? Not really. Like, I don't think you should have to get through the first 2 books to get to this book. Like, no. If it was just the first book, I could maybe, I don't know, but like, and a lot of people really enjoy this series, so I'm in the minority, I guess, with not enjoying this series. But I don't know if I would have known going in, like, you're really gonna enjoy the finale, just get to the finale. I feel like I still would resent the first 2 books, so I don't know. I am on the fence about continuing with the series. I'm leaning more towards continuing with the, like, spin-off series now that they're gonna have. Where before I was like, absolutely not. I'm done with V.E. Schwab after this, with like this series, because I like some of her other books. But the world is kind of redeemed for me now, and like, I'm kind of okay with it. But again, it's one of those series where it's like, I really loved this finale. It was a really good finale. But can I say that, like, it's one of my favorite series? No. The finale doesn't change the rest of the other books. I'm very conflicted about this. I'm going to be doing a full review and discussion of this book and, like, the series as a whole later on this month, so hopefully more of my thoughts will be collected by then. But, yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. Who would have thought? I'm as shocked as you are. In fact, I'm more shocked. I was shocked about this for, like, days after I read it. I then picked up The Bells by Donnell Clayton. I've already done a full review for this one, so I'll link that on the screen as well. This is the first book in a new fantasy series. It's kind of just like this dystopian fantasy. It's all around like beauty. The main character is a belle in this society, and she is one of the only people who is born not only beautiful, but she can also change the appearance and even the temperament of other people. And so it's a really interesting concept that I enjoyed, and the world was pretty cool, but I think a lot of parts of it fell flat. I feel like it wasn't as fleshed out as it could have been. So I found the plot, while incredibly like readable, very fast paced, something that I wanted to just always keep picking up, I just found it kind of predictable, and the twists and turns kind of predictable, and like I wanted more from it, and I wanted more from our characters as well. I found our main character to be a little bit insufferable and naive, and that was really grating. So while I enjoyed some elements of it, I didn't enjoy others, and so I gave it a solid 2.5 out of 5 stars. Right smack dab down the middle. I'm unsure if this is a series I want to continue. I think I'll wait until the synopsis for the next book comes out, see how I'm feeling about it then. But right now it's just kind of right in between. It had really good ideas, but failed in a lot of the execution. I then read Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I'm sure you've been hearing everyone talking about this because it's one of the biggest releases for this month. But this is the first book in a YA fantasy series that is based around African folklore, mythology, and culture. And it was such a fun ride. It took me so long to read this because I had no time while I was reading this. So this took me like 3 weeks, and that kind of sucked because I just wanted to be in it. But thankfully, about halfway through my reading of this, I also went and saw Black Panther, and that just like reignited my feelings for this and stuff. Not because I didn't want to read it before, but just like I had no time. It was an awful time for reading in my life. But this was a lot of fun. I loved the world. The world was just so rich and beautiful, and again, something that we don't really see a lot of. You don't really see African mythology and culture and everything. You could really feel that. I really like the magic system in here as well. The magic system and the writing style reminded me a lot of Leigh Bardugo, which was really great for me, obviously. I also really enjoyed our characters. I liked all the main characters. It's a multiple POV story, so it follows 3 different perspectives, and I really enjoyed all of them. I think Amari is my favorite of them, but I liked them all. The only thing I didn't like, and I'm so sad about this, is that there is some insta-love, I would say, in this. And that was really disheartening. I feel like the relationships aren't as drawn out as they could be, and that even some of the friendships are a little bit too quick, and the romantic relationships, or at least romantic feelings, are very, very quick. And I feel like I was wanting and expecting a slow burn for this, because there is this like tension, angstiness to it, and I wanted that to be really drawn out, and it really wasn't. So that ended up being a detractor for me. I am very excited about the ending and the rest of the series and everything else, but the romantic stuff, man, the relationship stuff is just like, oh shit, because I wanted to love that. It was one of the things I was looking forward to, because I saw Tomi Adeyemi at conventions before this book came out, and she was kind of talking about some of those elements, and I was like, I'm gonna love this. And I didn't love that part, so that was a huge disappointment. But overall, I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I will be doing a full review and discussion of this later on in the month, so look forward to more of my thoughts then. But 4 out of 5 stars, really looking forward to the rest of the series. I think it's going to be made into a movie, and I really want that to happen. I don't know if it was just optioned or actually being worked on, but it's going to be beautiful if and when that happens. I and everyone else that's read this is excited about it. So 4 out of 5 stars. And the last book that I read this month was another BookTube SFF Awards nominee, and this is for the graphic work category, and that is Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too by Jomni's Son. Now, I didn't know anything about this before going into it. I just knew that it was like in the sci-fi category, and this is basically about an alien that gets sent to Earth to observe humans. He ends up not observing humans at all and observing animals. And I've read now since reading it that this, like the things that they say in here are based kind of on this guy's Twitter feed. So it's kind of this like combination of like inspirational quotes with ironic quotes with really simple drawings. So here's the artwork in here. Like you can read this in 10 minutes, and everything, most things are misspelled, and that intentionally. So this just wasn't for me. I've seen reviews from people since that thought it was really cute and just like really light and fluffy. I don't see the point in this. I didn't like it. It wasn't my style. It wasn't my humor. Like I feel like it was like trying too hard. Like I didn't get it. I didn't get why this was nominated. No, it's not the kind of graphic novel I want to read. It's just, yeah. So this just wasn't for me. If you like that kind of like, if you're a fan of this guy, if you're a fan of like ironic, inspirational quotes just kind of mashed together with like really simple, cute art, then you might like this. I didn't like it. I gave it 1 out of 5 stars. So that is it for my March reading. It was obviously kind of a roller coaster ride, but comment below, let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.